Welcome to Healing the Mind's Mindful Moments. These mini-pods are designed to give you insight and to help you overcome life's challenges. Escaping the drama triangle. How understanding victim, rescuer and persecutor roles can transform your relationships. The drama triangle, as described by Stephen Cartman, involves three roles: the victim, the persecutor, and the rescuer. It's a model to help us understand how conflict arises between people in dramatic or intense relationships, or in our interactions with others. These roles are usually automatically adopted unconsciously by an individual. By understanding how these roles work, it can really help us identify how we could potentially resolve destructive or toxic interaction that can have a damaging effect in our relationships. The victim role. Well, the victim role is self-explanatory. It feels helpless and powerless, blaming others. They constantly attribute their struggles or failures to other people, repeatedly voicing dissatisfaction with their circumstances rather than taking responsibility, often feeling like everyone is against them or they can never get ahead in life. Victims usually rely on others for emotional or financial support, feeling sorry for oneself and focusing on their personal misfortune. The rescuer role tries to solve everyone else's problems at the expense of their own well-being, leading to burnout and exhaustion. Over time, the rescuer can perpetuate a toxic cycle of emotional pain because by rescuing others to avoid feelings of guilt, they can unintentionally create a dynamic where others become dependent on them. This prevents those individuals from learning how to solve their own problems and take responsibilities for themselves. The persecutor role takes on an aggressive or judgmental stance and often points fingers at others, blaming them for their problems or failures. They frequently criticize others, making them feel inadequate or inferior. The persecutor can be domineering and controlling by trying to control situations or people through manipulation, threats, or overpowering behaviour. Or they may use intimidation to get their own way. They tend to have a harsh all or nothing mindset, often seeing others as wrong, inferior, or deserving of punishment, and rarely show empathy or understanding. The majority of people see these roles in the drama triangle as normal, but in reality they are damaging and unhealthy, creating either conflict, resentment, and emotional distress, preventing healthy, constructive interactions and personal growth. Individuals who engage in the drama triangle typically have a default role or starting point where they will instinctively identify with and react as either the victim, the rescuer, or persecutor. It's also important to recognise that these roles are not fixed. People can move fluidly between them depending on the situation and their emotional responses. For example, a person may start as a rescuer attempting to fix a situation or save someone else, only to feel unappreciated and overburdened, eventually shifting into the role of the victim. Alternatively, some may start as the persecutor, becoming critical and controlling, but when confronted with resistance, they may revert to feeling powerless, adopting the victim role as a way to avoid responsibility. Despite these role shifts, the cycle will always end up in the victim state where individuals feel alone, powerless, and helpless. Being in this perpetual loop can reinforce feelings of isolation and despair, leaving people unable to break free from the emotional chaos created by their inability to shift out of the drama triangle and into healthier, more empowered roles. Therefore, it is important that individuals identify the root causes of these roles by encouraging self-reflection and examining experiences, emotional triggers, and learned patterns of behaviours. To escape toxic interactions, it is necessary that people trace these patterns back to their early life experiences, understanding how their past may have shaped the development of the roles they adopt. For example, someone who has experienced neglect or emotional abuse might develop the victim role as a way of coping with feeling alone or helpless. Similarly, a person who grew up with a controlling or critical caregiver might gravitate towards the persecutor role as a way of exerting power and control in situations where they feel threatened. The rescuer, on the other hand, can stem from childhood experiences or environmental programming where individuals were praised for taking care of others, leading them to neglect their own needs in adulthood. Over the years, I've helped many people break free from the drama triangle. I offer proven strategies to identify and overcome the damaging roles within it. I can help individuals recognise the underlying cause of these roles, why they play them, and transform their behaviours, leading to healthier relationships and a more successful, empowered life. By breaking free from these damaging patterns, individuals can unlock their full potential and live a more successful and happier life.